Hey, it's Bongo John here. I'm at Bongo John Studio. I just got here. Look at this. Keep door closed. Oh. Going in here. It's not been powered up yet. Bongo John recording. Bongo John Studio recording. And then turning the light on. Going over here, powering up. Had just finished a day recording. There's my drum kit. Fully mic'd, doing work for James Murray. It's exciting. Yes. All right, so going over this way. There's my bass that, thanks to Eric. I used to play bass years ago. Yay. Going over here and turn on some lights, make the lighting more appropriate. I'm all about aesthetics and utilitarianism. So we're going over here. Here's the power to the control room. And I push this button, and bam. Oh, I got light here. Then I have my overhead lights, which are nice. I go over here by my percussion, which is a bit more organized at this time. It's a bit of a mess right here. We've got electronic kit that was utilized for the video I just posted. Yay. So then now I'm going to close this door. And the only reason I locked this door because it's a firewall door of a storage facility and got to keep the critters out. Whoa. Then I go over this way. Now, this overhead light, I like to keep the lights on because sometimes it depends on the mood. This overhead light, and I do have these lights, which are fun. Right here, I go here, and then like, whoa, hey, whoa, LED, fun. And then we go over here, these lights are on. Then we walk into the control room. That's pretty cool. It has USB on the lamp itself to charge. Oh, neat. Then we got memorabilia. Memorabilia. There's Hell Yes Ma'am. That was a plaque for working with John Custer and Cosmic Superheroes and recording, mixing. He did arrangement and production. Then we got here Hip Slack, which is a band I used to be in. That's me, my fat face over on the left hand side. Yes, it was fun. And then we have over here my percussion. That was years ago when I lived in Oklahoma. That was me playing my conga, quinto, and tumba. Yeah, toca drums. And then we have here signatures of Clyde Summerfield and Jabbo Starks. One of them passed away. I'm not sure if the other fellow is gone, but then there's a signature of another drummer there. And then right here we have Ishti's wonderful print of a painting he recently did. Ishti rocks. And then we have here some other memorabilia. They playing bongo drums in Key West on a giant tarmac. And that's my old school recording gear there. Wonderful, wonderful. PV 4-track cassette based. See that? Yes, it was awesome. It was in a tornado shelter in Oklahoma. Then we have my old keyboard here also. It's an Sonic EPS. Wonderful. Then I have this, which is relatively organized as far as paperwork for fine print of doing things. Here's a table that's all askew. It has a video camera and some of my favorite books. Complete rhyming dictionary. Entering the Stream. Richard Bach. We have some other books here. This is my percussion. Percussion is awesome here. We got this xylophone that a bandmate of Hip Slack, bass player. We got my bongos down here, and then I have this wonderful thing here that's my dad used to own, and when he was alive, he I can print something for you if you'd like to see. So I'm gonna go BONG bongo space Print. Oh. What's that say? Bongo loves you. Oh, look at that. We place it anywhere we want to place it. Which I actually use that for labeling the drawers here, which I hope to get some dividers for these drawers. That'd be awesome. My headphone adapters, various. And then we got an amp, Vox amp, that's very, very nice. Very nice. So now we have the control room where this is where the magic happens as far as recording and mixing. I have very frugal gear. I don't use much. I used to work at Studio 313, and it was awesome. It was a Control 24 surface with automated faders, real fancy Control surface, and it looked aesthetically. It was very old machine, Focusrite technology. It ran on a G3 Apple. It was like it's old. That was years ago. Working for Jeff Creed, who was running the Studio 313 at the time, and recorded several clients with him for a course of about 2.5 years, 3 years, maybe longer, about part-time, full-time. And then I had my studio in Morrisville at that time with a 20 by 20 room. And eventually Jeff and I kind of parted ways a bit. I hope he's doing well. I hear he's living in somewhere close to the beach, driving tour buses or something like that for people. Hope he's doing well. And then right here, so here I have, oh wow, it's like so little, right? It's like, how can this possibly yield the recordings that I need? Well, let's just boot up, shall we? Oh, now you've done it. So then I have here the Focusrite Claret, right? It's right here. 8 Pre Plus, about $1,000. Bottom was similar, Octopre, about 800, 900. And those are my inputs for 16 channels for this snake here that runs all the way around over to here. Now, normally I would have these cables not bunched up like that in a mess. When clients are over, I make it a point to make sure the cables are very tight and not like this. But since I haven't been recording anyone lately, so it's loosened up a little bit in here. So I have all these wonderful drums, the kit that I've acquired. You all know about that if you looked at my website or YouTube's, and a green screen, which is fun sometimes. Although I don't know about green screen, man. It's like if you use green screen, use it extremely, very little, because excessive green screen is just el faco. You don't want that. No, I like actual shots. So then now, here we have the hand sonic. I got some. This drum is from Cairo, a touristy kind of drum. It's not like super ho ho ho. I can play it. It's like this one is your standard doom back. I'm not doing back John, no. I have my congas, my old tokas. They're old. I love my conga and quinto. I have various headphones that are very fun. This right here is the autograph I got from Buddy Rich at the age of 7.5. I saw Buddy Rich. So I saw Buddy Rich. And my dad found out that he was playing in I think it was Bellevue, Nebraska. I'm pretty sure that was it. And I was very young. And he said, Buddy Rich is playing with big band. You want to go? And I had just heard about him. I said, oh, that would be awesome. That'd be great. That would be great. So even though I was too young to be in the club, they let me come in, and I sat on the front row of the show. And of course, as a kid, seeing Buddy Rich, at the time world's greatest drummer, I was blown away completely. And so after the performance, I remember someone telling me before, he's got that one hand snare roll you got to check out. I was like, whoa. Wow. So afterwards, my dad talked to the bus driver, the tour manager, bus driver, and said, can my son meet Buddy Rich? Well, they let me on the bus, and he was on the bus smoking a cigarette, and he said, you play drums, kid? You know, looking like that. And I was like, well, I play pots and pans. And he stopped me, put his hand on my shoulder, looked me in the eye and said, stick with it, kid. And I got his autograph. It's like, that is the reason Bongo John became a drummer. Now, of course, I learned later on that, you know, in recent years, there were recordings of him, you know, cussing out bandmates for not playing perfectly. Like he would fire horn players, I heard, for playing one wrong note. Now, of course, I didn't know that as a kid, and that's okay. But that's how he was, and he expected 110% as he did from his own plan. So that was years ago. And then, of course, another drummer that really heavily influenced me was Neil Peart. And Neil Peart, this book does not belong to me, as someone lent it to me, but I have the Kindle version of Ghost Rider right here. And Ghost Rider is a book. Neil Peart had a huge influence on me, my drumming, and as a philosopher, and the greatest drummer that ever lived, in my opinion. So rest in peace, Neil Peart. I'm reading his book right now. That book particularly. This is, of course, this is where the piano, the keyboard I play, and this is a sign that a former client made for my studio, and I have Beethoven and Wagner, and then right here we have this computer here. I won't go into detail about that, trying to go through the lens to show everything, but I want everyone to know that I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. I'm not an alien. I'm Bongo John, and I hope everyone out there understands that it's not the aesthetic necessarily. It's not a fancy control board of a multi-million-dollar studio that will determine how good your record will sound. It's not necessarily aesthetics, although I am now starting to ramp that up, aesthetics. And, I have worked in studios with better aesthetics. The acoustics are good in here. It's not completely dead, but it also has some reflective, like this surface. But I have these as well. And then sometimes I'll carefully mic and do things so that we don't get multiple, phasing issues. There's no phasing going on here. And so I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I love you all. You have a great rest of the day, all right? All right.